Okay, Andre, so hello. So, what was interesting is my code last week actually worked. It's just I'm really dumb and I don't know how to spell. So in my actual where is it? Commands for collision for like the testing and stuff. Not the testing and stuff. No, yeah. So actual commands in collision. My main problem was I didn't know how to spell execute, as in I was missing the second E, or technically the third E, so I was trying to override a function called execute, which does not exist, which is why nothing was running. But that's all fixed now. And essentially, I just followed along with the PowerPoint to get to where this is at. And this is the new collision type pair command, where it gets two bounding sphere references, and which then grab the bounding spheres and does a test based off the intersect in math, or using math, which is calling the intersect of the collision volume B spheres. And if it's true, then they show up as red, but otherwise the spheres are black. So just a real quick peek into here. Might as well just scroll down for you. So that's that test. Those are the commands right here. So an actual collision. So here is the math for the intersection with another collision sphere, which is the centers dot product with the distance between the centers, and a boolean between that with the less than or equal to of the radiuses added together squared, or multiplied, or their sum squared. And here's compute data, which takes the center, a vector scale, and then creates a radius based off of that. And we've already seen, this is the collision volume, which is what we're going to be saving for next part of engine. So all that was added here was the collision B-sphere data, so takes in a model pointer and the collision B-sphere reference, and then the constant virtual just to grab the B-sphere, grab them or set the model, and update the collision data, which just calls the B-sphere to compute data along with the model. And then what did I have to add? So within here's visualizer, so big thing here is I had to add this lovely align 16 since it's not aligned for some weird ass reason, but it's a singleton that also has, I should probably move this to public, but I left it here for now. There's a lot to clean up with the friend classes and all that, as well as the final attorneys for this, but essentially it has it creates a base unit sphere. I could physically show you. So in the initializer, it sets up a unit sphere to take in the actual loaded prefab of unit sphere, but in the wireframe version, it sets us a default color, which is set to blue. And then the destructor deletes the pointers that always call new. Then show B sphere, it takes the actual sphere, grabs the size. This is basically with the first step of the testing to show the initial visualizer. So it creates the size and multiplies it by a vector of 111 to create the actual sphere. And then it takes a position which is just the center of the sphere. And then the world position I took out multiplying by world because that tends to shift the actual position of the sphere too much. So then it's just the scale and the transform. And then you might not agree with this, and I still need to fix it, but currently it works. There was some problems earlier I was running into. So initially I tried saving all of the commands for visualizer on the same command and just using helper functions to change it. but a problem that I ran into is during collisions between two objects, they'd show both the red and black spheres at the same time because it was sharing the same commands, which is being a little bit wonky. So the workaround was to create a new one every time there's a collision. And then with render, it's setting the world matrix and setting the color, and then calling the camera manager to deal with all that fun stuff. There's the delete, and specifically with this new visualize command, it has an overloaded command base, or overloaded constructor and protected stuff for matrix and vector color. And essentially all it does is fills in the two protected values, and the execute calls visualizer render bsphere, which is a public method to touch the private method within visualizer. And then after that, it goes through the actual broker, and in the broker itself, there's add command, which is within the actual what is it called? The actual scene. So I could actually go there. So within the actual scene, there's a this here submit viz command, which is literally calling the visual broker's add command function to add that specific command base, so that it's added to its own stack to be drawn. And another thing I did was I for some reason have to put the visual broker first to be drawn, or else nothing gets drawn, which is really weird, but it's probably something with my code. But past that, I still need to do a demo, but I still need to make a demo game, so that I'm still behind on. So just show you that it works. Give it a second. I'm fairly sure that's everything I touched on for this sprint. I love AVG. Come on, come on, come on. And yeah, so right now there's two ships just colliding on top of each other. Since the next sprint's gonna be documentation, I'm gonna be catching up on the whole game demo stuff. So this is them not colliding, and then this is them colliding, so on and so forth. And yeah, that's it.